Baiss. Hi, my name is Joyce Baiss. I was born in Brazil. I live in Tampa, Florida. I have been painting since I was 16 years old. Vivid colors are my favorite thing to do, to use. And I chose the subject of sunflowers because I just absolutely love the yellows and the oranges and the ochre color on our porcelain vocabulary, the ochre 21, the regular ochre 415. So I'm going to use those vivid colors and I'm going to show how to really load so you can do the sunflower really in one flower, really in one fire. If you load properly all that paint on the plate without chipping, because that's the trick. When you load, and you do your brush stroke, you don't want that build up that might chip during the fire. So I'm going to start it by using like the uh, the regular process. We go from the background to the front. Okay, so I have the pattern. We have a person. Okay, so now I hope everybody can hear me. So here we are. I did draw the pattern. I transferred the pattern because I did send that on a study. I usually just freehand because it's just very simple, basic strokes. We're going to use a lot of comma stroke, a lot of C stroke, and then a little wiggly here and there. Okay. So my colors, let's start it with the colors. I'm using my I call American green. Is a little darker and vibrant than the grass green. I will use a little bit of the chartreuse here. Okay. I have my ochre 21 and hopefully you can see the colors a little better than the video. And this is my beautiful yellow, um, yellow called marigold yellow. I named that. Actually, one of my students named that. It's an European one, and it's absolutely gorgeous. And it's a very compatible yellow. You know how hard it is to paint yellows with China painting. So here we are. I'm going to use my large brush, and I want to say I have here the 1 inch, okay? The 1 inch flat shaders. And I make sure my brush is very hydrated so it doesn't open up, take the excessive oil. And this is how we load our brush in order not to chip or doing buildup. So this is what I'm doing here. See if you can see this. I wiggle a little bit. I wiggle a little bit when I load, and I will not carry my brush to my plate unless I'm very happy with how it's stroking in here, okay? So I think it's pretty solid, okay? So here we are. I used a leaf over here. And I'm going to put this here. There. So we have this as a front of the leaf, okay? This is just to give a little bit of background. You can always do shadow leaves afterwards if you choose to. But right now, this is my vein. I'm going to start by really stroking. Go back in here. Gonna do it again. I'm not gonna go all the way in there, okay? Because I want to use my yellow in it. And I'll show you a good way to not have build up. So here we are. More. If you notice, this is my design. I'm getting to the edge here. I'm getting close to to the top. So I'm going to get a little lighter, okay? And I'm going to go. Well, I'm getting to the point here that I'm going to turn around my plate and I'm going to go from the outside in because I want this movement here, okay? Sunflower leaves are very solid colors, okay? And you see how strong it is, how I do. So I gave a little bit of light. If you don't have chartreuse, and I'm here becoming extremely hard to find chartreuse, you can always use apple green because what are we looking in here is giving that movement of shades, okay? So here we go again. I'm going to start from the bottom. Once again, I'm loading my brush. And this is my vein. So I'm going to bring in here. My brush is not getting moist. Hold on. It's opening up. We all know that, right? So hold on. So let's go. Oops. That's the brush. Okay. Getting close to the edge here. I'm going to go ahead and start from the bottom, from the middle, giving the stroke up. Just remember, just very solid strokes. Solid color. And if you don't use too much oil, you'll be very happy when you try to do your highlights and your feathering. You will see that if you notice, you see me often stroking my brush in here. And what I want from this is sometimes you get some specks. I don't squeeze my brush. I don't squeeze my brush. I just actually, hold on a second. Wipe it off in here. I'm going to get very strong in here. See, because I'm not using a lot of oil, I can do very light. And now we're going to go into a little light color right here and right here and right here. Okay. So, so sorry about that. And I'm going to go ahead and do this. I want some highlight right in the middle here, right in my vein. There is the color. See the movement of colors here? And I am so sorry. Something fell right on my foot. Just give me a second for a second. Sorry about that. Here you go. All right, so I'm having the solid colors and a little bit of highlight here to give a little bit dimension. Right here, right here, right here. So far, we have a very solid movement of colors. And let me give a little bit charming on the edge here. So this is my solid leaf. Touch the area. Be careful with this buildup because you didn't use a lot of oil. You'll be able to actually feather out. Oh, I love it. I get very happy when I see my movement of colors. I have a boo-boo here and I don't care for this. So I'm going to go ahead, use a little bit of this, and I'm going to make it solid. This area here is going to grab a little bit of that yellow from these sunflowers. So I'm going to go ahead and get a little bit of my ochre and give some get this color from the sunflower without having to worry. The piece of my little step stool that I lift my that I lift my legs up got caught and ran right on my pinky. Okay, so here we are. Let me get a little bit of the edges here on my leaves. And I'm happy with this, okay? I can always redo later on some highlights in here after I start with my sunflowers. All right, so right now we're going to work on the sunflowers. I'm using not so big, I want to say size 18, and this Josephine is amazing. So I like my Josephines. So once again, I'm moisture, and I'm going to start from the back petals that I have here. And if you are very uncomfortable with, because you have a little bit of the colors in there, I'll show you the deal. Okay, so we have a plain paper. You're going to fully load your, ooh, too much oil. Okay, so here we have this one. And I'm working on the back pedal. And this is the deal. So when you're right here, you push it in and you lift. And you have your green in here. So come to the paper and wipe it off. Do not clean up your brush that often, okay? So I'm going to do it again. There's one on the back. Let me do it again. Okay. Better to take that buildup off. I'm going to get my yellow, marigold yellow, and my ochre 21. Oops. And I'm going to go in here, right here. See this? It's very clean brush stroke. Once again, I'm opening up this. I'm getting here. And here we are. Okay. Well, I'm going this way. So let's go back in here. I'm constantly side loading my ochre 21. Remember, you gotta load. If you're happy on your tile, when you're loading your paint, when you're loading your over here, then you can carry that paint to you. Okay? So, and very strong. This ochre 20, this ochre 21 is going to give you a very pretty orange looking that you can later on highlight with your yellow. Okay? Removing the excessive green that I had here that I was. When I'm using my yellows and even my orange reds or yellow reds, I want to make sure my plate is always very clean. So when I wipe off my brush, I know what I'm touching it. Okay? So take off the excessive green, load again, back in here. Once again, I'm working on the back petals. And it's okay to leave that shading here. Makes very natural light. Or let's say um, natural color transferring. Reflection. That's the word I was looking for. There. Okay, this is a sticky one, very big one. So I need to be very careful because as I'm brushing the color in, I'm gonna grab that green. So you need to go one stroke. Don't be fussy. Just remove it. Yellow again, load your yellow right there. Okay, so here we are. We have a little one here. Once we get to this area and you're happy with your stroke, then you can go ahead and start adding your yellows, okay? I got a little mud in here, hold on. Happy with that. Gonna come over here. This is a big one, and I didn't realize that it comes all the way here. So I'm going to just disregard my first brush on the top. And I am squeezing now because my brush starts getting too much of my green. So I want to make sure I have a clean brush. There it is. I'm going to come on this end here. I'm almost done with my back petals. Like that. Like this one has a little bit too much green. I want to put it more in there. So let me just take this. There you go. Add some texture to it. There's one here. So right now we got all this vivid colors on top of a leaf. And we have now the middle ones, the one that comes in front. Okay. But let me go all around and then we'll do finish with the very vivid yellow in the back. Okay. So here goes my this one. I'm going all around it. I'm just going all around it. this here. Okay. Now play along with this. Make your own petals on a shape that you don't need to be that pointed. Of course, there are a lot of sunflowers that are very pointy, very dramatic. But this one, you can play along with what you like. So shape your petals according to your desire. If you don't want that pointy, you can always make a little roundish to it. Okay. So here you go. I'm giving a little bit more character to it. Some of them I don't care much so pointy. So I'm going to go over here. I'm going to get a little bit more character to it. Personality problem here. There you go. More like that. So you can give a lot of, sorry, you can give a lot of texture to your petals, okay? Mhm. All right. I'm I think I'm all right with this. So I'm going back to this area and I'm going to start overlapping the inside petals that I chose to do it. Okay. So right here, I need to make a difference on this one. There you go. So here you go. Now I'm going to use all that yellow in. All right. By using that, let me see. I got one here. There's another one here. I like that. Okay. I'm going to hit this. I think there's another one here that's very big. Hold on. There you go. There you are. Okay. I'm getting saturated with green in my brush, so I dipped again on my oil. I wipe it off. I'm reloading my yellow. Now you can't see much of my yellow. I'm afraid to touch this camera. There you go. I want a very silly one here. I touched my green there, but I'm going back. Make it smooth. Let me see, I got one here. Oh, got one here. So I'm building up a very full kind of type of sunflower. Different species here. Hold on. I'm going to make it stronger because I want to tell them this is my petal here. This petal does exist. Do not ignore my petal. Right, so we got in here, back in this area. Come back in here so we can. Too much oil. All right, so here you go. There you are. All right. Okay, I have this one like this. I'm gonna go in here. Remember, the middle of that sunflower is right here, so I'm stopping. This is how far I'm gonna go. Okay. It doesn't really matter. It won't make any difference if you go farther in. This is a beautiful yellow, very compatible to reds and ochre. It really doesn't eat up. My brush is opening up, so I need to condition a little bit. Okay, here you go. Back on my yellow. It's opening up again. Let me just really soak it in. My brush, take the excessive off. Back on my clean paper so I can make sure there's no build up colors on a side. If you want to do that in one fire, you need to make sure you do not. There you go. You need to make sure you do not carry other colors into it. So you don't get so, there you go. And like that. This is a big one. I had done that in ochre color, but I'm gonna add more yellow to it. Okay. And here we are. This is on top. This is on top here. Very important to keep clean edges and not too oily. So you can go later on and doing some texture to it. Now we have those girls here, and I call curls because petals, goes to Portuguese female and male wordings. So those petals there are coming after I'm doing the middle. Right now, I'm just taking a look, making sure I have a nice clean cuts. Let me do this one here. Looks very uniform, this one. Hold on. I'm going to fix it. Hold on, like this. Like that. So, taking the excessive off because you don't want to chip. So here you go, just feathering around it. Those are my petals. right? So I want to make sure we don't have, I'm missing one here. Let's take a look in here. Okay, I like that. I'm going to give a little cut in here. This one here. And this one here. Okay, I like that. Right. Here we have one. And also with ochre color. Then I come around and I do my yellows. Please make sure I have, you know what? This could use more darkness. Let me take this. Yes. All right. So I'm going to get my stapler. I'm going to start to build up. I have two shades of blue, two shades of brown. I use a mahogany brown, and I use my sepia, okay? My brown sepia and my mahogany brown. So those are the two colors. I want that difference, okay? So I can play and build up quite a bit on it, okay? So here we are. Let me see if I can twist it a little bit so you know how I'm going to hold my brush. Okay. I'm going to get my large stapler. Oh, how funny. I thought it was. Okay, you have to over here. Brushing it over my little brush holder. Yeah. All right. So here we are. All right. I pick another one. This stapler is right, Joyce Preston. Remember them? I was probably 16 years old when I had this one. It's you 5. Okay, so get this. I'm going to start filling this whole thing here just to make sure not to lose my folding petals, okay? When you start building up the middle of it. As everybody knows that when you're using staplers, you don't want to oil it at all. This is my brown sepia. Okay? I want to oil it, but I don't want to, oh, there you go. Okay. So let me just clean up very good so that we don't have any residue. Okay. So I'm going to start by filling this up all around it. Let me just get my wipe out here. And I'm going to guide myself. Look at that. My limit. This is one. This is another one. Just want to have an idea. This is where I'm going in. Okay. So I'm going to get my mahogany. With my stapler. I'm going to go all around here. Let's see. I want to establish how far I want to go. Okay. Walk. Yeah, I want to go there. Yeah, this is one. Two, two, two. Okay, so Continue with your stapler. Just fill it up. All around it. And yes, we're going to get darker. But I want the texture. Okay. It's a little stylish anyway, but I want that design there. There you are. So I think now I'm gonna get it there. I wasn't grab enough paint, so here you go. Now we have it. A very pretty brown, reddish brown looking. Okay. And as you see on the pattern, you will see that we have the sepia color all around it.
Can you hear me okay?
And I want to go into around here because I want to make sure when I pull the petals into the middle, it's right there. Okay. All right. I think I've reached pretty much what I want right now. So let me do this now. I'm going to get a smaller brush, and I'm using now the size 14. Okay. I think this right here. When I pull my petals from the outside in, I want to make sure I'm loading the brush, fully load my yellow. And I'm going to go right here. And I'm going to twist it. And I wipe it off. See the darkness in here? Because I don't want to make a mud. It's very important to have a very nice, clean cut of brush strokes, okay? I'm going to go in here. There you are. Once again, I wipe it off. I don't squeeze my brush. I don't need to remove my yellow. Just want to make sure. And now I have another one in here. Okay. I grab over here. I'm going to twist it. And I'm doing it again because I don't want that brownish so much in here. And I'm going to squeeze that like that. So this one, we can go this way and this way. So let's try that. Making sure I'm removing all my brown. I'm going to start in here. If you think you're not getting out enough, just dip slightly, lightly, dip lightly on your oil. Slide between your fingers there in the paper. Load your yellow again and go back to your stroke. There. I'm going to do another one here, okay? See the brown on the tip of my brush? Yeah, you want that. Make sure you clean it again. And I'm going to touch this and there. And I'm going to make a little belly there. There you are. I like what I see. But I am going to enhance my yellows in here. There you are. Load really good. I'm going to enhance this. I like that. And I like this petal. That's pretty much it. Okay, so here you have. Now remember, we had the stem coming right here. I want to make sure I'm getting into this petal before I do my stem, okay? All right, so the stem goes right here. Yeah, so before we finish this up, I'm going to get a smaller brush, jumping into my 8. And I'll see, let me experiment as if the 8 will reach what I want. So I'm giving, because I'm trying to do this in one fire, I'm not going to be that fancy, but I am going to go all around it and give a little bit of depth. What do? I'm going to fully load my yellow. I'm going to side load my sepia. And I'm going to choose where I want to start. I want to start here. Because I didn't use a lot of oil, it is easier to do that in one fire. You can choose to do with 2 colors. I'm going to do with my ochre 21. A little bit of my sepia. I'm going to go all around it. Don't forget to load your yellow so you don't remove from the petals. That's such a pretty bright yellow, okay? So once in a while, you're going to have to load your yellow to make sure you have your base coat on it, on your brush. So you can come over here and give a little bit of texture in here. See? I done it here. Didn't do enough here. So let me try it again. Give it a little test texture. I'm going to go in here. There is the highlight. So all of a sudden I'm getting a little bit more. Just a second. I'm trying to reach this. Again, if you think you have too much. Again, if you think you have too much of this brown on your brush, just slightly dip on your oil. Bring it over here and remove the excess of the dark color. Go on your yellow. Load your brush again. Side load. Remember, side load straight towards your chest. when you brush, let me show you close to this. When I doing my side load, I'm going to get my base color. Then I'm going to go straight down towards your chest. Otherwise, you're going to have a mud. You want the two tones in your brush. See the movement? Now you're giving a little highlight in here. And in that case, when it gets too close to this, I want to do that depth here, I want to do in Ochre 21, okay? I like it. I like it. Okay. I want to tell the people that look at the plate that I have a paddle here. So I got my Ochre 21 a little bit there, and I made a movement. Can you see it? Oops, put too much ochre here on my brush. Let me go back into loading my yellow. A second, let me see if I can. I'm back on loading my yellow. Back a little bit of mahogany, but I really like this movement here. Okay. So I'm going to over here. And this one here, I'm going to add the ochre on this movement so people see my petal. So we have a lot of texture here. Okay. I think this one here, we could use a little bit more texture. There you go. Love it. Okay. Yeah, I do appreciate sometimes that I paint. Okay. So I got this, got that, got that. We need this. I am going to use my size 14 brush. Let me see, size 14 brush. And I'm going to try to do my, let me see if it is, size 14 will do good. It is dirty with yellow, no big deal. I'm going to fully load my green. And at this point, I'm going to fully load my green, but I'm going to grab a little bit of my brown sepia. And this stem is sideways like this, right? I did a cross. Don't want to do that much cross. This is my middle. So I'm going to do this right here. A straight line. Actually, a circle. Okay. There. There. I want thicker than this, obviously, otherwise it's a little tiny stem. Go back in here. I need to anchor my wrist. Load my brush. Let's give some highlight to it. tend to always do a little bit different. So let me see what happens if I get my dark cream, a little bit of the sepia. What if I got a little bit here? I like that. And again, I'm going to anchor. And you can be as elaborate as you want to be on your stem. I still think it's too thin for this big of a girl, and I call girl. So let me make it bigger. Yeah, I'm getting better. Yeah, it's getting better, the size of it, but not enough color. So let's try it again. Here we are. Gonna get some of this, some of the brownish in it. I like that. So you give some movement. I like this here, so I'm gonna make a little bit more into this. There we go. It's coming out of there. Flatten your brush. Give a little cut. Cut here. And we're good. Okay. I'm not going to excess myself on this movement here. We're trying to do a one fire gift really quick. Somebody's birthday and we forgot to get something. So on this area here, I want to give some movement of colors. So here you go. And I call movement of colors because I add color to it and it's like a dance. You know, you give some highlights here and there. And I like that. Right in this area here, I like to give some highlights with my yellows, okay? So same brush I was doing it. I'm gonna get my yellow. 1, 2, and 3. And kind of short there. I'm gonna edit. Elongated this design. There, I like that better. Okay, so we have, let's so from then on, it just all you do is some design, some character to it. You don't want a boring style. So I like that. All right, so now that we put together those colors in it, well, you know what? I like this ochre in here. So let me do this. Yeah, I like that. Didn't see that, did you? No. If I unmute, somebody's asking me to unmute my, I am mute, I need to mute this one. Hold on a second.
Okay. So when all right. So I mute the one that has the other camera, the second camera. But it's kind of echo, doesn't it? So
yes, it's echoing.
is it what?
Yes.
All right. So let me do this for a second. Okay. Can you hear? And I think I can hear you now. Okay. How about now? All right. So now I'm going to just play with my wipeouts, okay? So over here. The big one here. Let's see what I'm going to do here. Yeah, I like that better. Okay, for the highlight, so I'm going to cover it. Like that way. Majority of my cleaning is with the toilet paper. The one that, not the fancy one. The fancy one has too much lint. Open. All right. Any questions? Let me see if I can. I think we are done. Suzanne, are you there?
Yes, thank you so much. I've enjoyed this and I look forward to working with it and giving me inspiration as I try to create your wonderful sunflower.
Thank you very much for inviting me.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.